Construction projects don't come much bigger than High Speed 2, HS2. It's a new super-fast railway being built right up the heart of Britain with the promise of economic growth, low carbon travel, more capacity, and some of the fastest trains on Earth. But building it is far from easy. The project has gone several times over budget, faced delays, and staunch opposition. HS2 is now known more for its setbacks and the decisions of those in power than its benefits, and the incredible engineering going into it. An idea to bring the country closer together has become divisive. And yet it's not just a UK issue. We're seeing this everywhere. When public money is involved, the stakes get much higher. The scrutiny gets more intense, and when things go wrong, it can become difficult or even impossible to stop. So how much say do we really have over massive projects like HS2 built with our money? Can our governments ever stop once they've started? And is there a point at which these schemes are no longer worth it? Connecting a country. Like many countries, the UK is divided. There are big economic and social differences between the capital and the rest of the country, with little sign of anything changing. Back in 2009, the government proposed a new high-speed railway to better connect London and the north of England, spreading wealth up the country. 3 years later, that project was approved and billions of taxpayer cash was set aside. HS2 is being built in 3 stages. Phase 1 runs from London to Birmingham. Phase 2 will carry the route to a town called Crewe, and 2 bits takes it to the cities of Manchester and, originally, Leeds. High-speed trains would then continue on to other parts of the country at normal speeds using the existing network, so those living in the wider north and Scotland can benefit too. Trains will have a top speed of 225 miles per hour, the fastest in Europe. But to do that, they need a track that's as straight and flat as possible, and drawing a straight flat line up the middle of England isn't easy. Some 90% of the Phase 1 route will be up on bridges and viaducts, or dug below ground in tunnels and cuttings, making it less visible. It's an immense feat of engineering. The route in detail. A journey north from London will begin at a new 3-story terminal in Euston. It'll have the UK's largest concourse, a prefabricated geometric roof, and 10 platforms built some 8 meters below ground. After Euston, trains will arrive at Old Oak Common, where there will be additional links to Heathrow Airport, Wales, and the Southwest. The first landmark outside London is the Colne Valley Viaduct, set to become the country's longest railway crossing. It's 3.4 kilometers long and runs over several waterways. Next up is the 16-kilometer Chiltern Tunnel, the longest and deepest on the entire route, sitting up to 90 meters underground. Then it's another tunnel, but this one is less about length and depth and more about what's above it. The UK has over 300,000 hectares of ancient woodland. That's trees that have been around since 1600 or before. Despite weathering the ages, some of those trees now find themselves in the path of HS2. Instead of cutting them all down, planners have tried to limit their destruction, and one way is to go underneath them, like at Long Itchington Wood. To make this possible, construction teams are using 2,000-ton tunnel boring machines to cut a path. The Long Itchington Tunnel will run for 1.6 kilometers and be the first to complete across the whole route when it finishes in 2023. The last stop before Birmingham is the Solihull Interchange, currently billed as the world's most eco-friendly railway station, with connections to the airport and exhibition centre. Phase 1 culminates at Birmingham Curzon Street, the first intercity rail terminus built in the UK since the 1800s, with an arched roof inspired by the railway pioneers of that era. It's all a lot of work and money to connect London and the Midlands. But there's a payoff: economic growth. The benefits of high-speed rail. The idea is that the billions being poured into this project will be paid back, and that millions of people will have their quality of life improved. High-speed rail effectively brings major cities and population centers closer together. Businesses can access larger customer bases, supply chains, and labor pools. Integration and trade are improved, productivity goes up, and commuting longer distances becomes possible. You no longer have to buy a house in an expensive region in order to work there, and that takes some of the pressure off the housing crisis. HS2 will slash journey times too. Getting from London to Birmingham will take just 45 minutes, 37 minutes quicker than today. But better connectivity between regions is about more than just speed. There's another key word in all of this: capacity. If you look at the UK's rail map, you might question whether this project makes any sense. London already has a direct connection to Birmingham and Manchester via the West Coast Main Line, so why build another? Because it's one of the busiest railways in Europe, used by intercity, local and freight trains all at the same time, and things can get crowded. HS2 will be just for high-speed passenger trains. It'll mean getting up and down the country quicker and free up much-needed space on the existing lines. The hope is that this will all make taking the train an obvious choice as compared to driving or taking a domestic flight, bringing carbon emissions down. It's designed to be the world's most sustainable high-speed railway. It all seems like a good idea, but there are some who question whether the UK actually needs this high-speed line at all. Unlike some other countries renowned for their high-speed rail networks, the UK's major cities are all much closer together. That's a factor that has perpetuated the lack of an extensive high-speed network in the UK to date, and one reason why it hasn't cultivated much homegrown expertise good at building it. So that's it for today. If you like this video, then please hit the like and subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching.